Because one of the things that these folks want to do is they want to eliminate meat production in the United States, or actually throughout the world. They view agriculture they don't view their private jets as a problem with global warming, but they do.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis recently signed a bill into law banning the sale of lab-grown meat in the state, aiming to preserve the agriculture industry, and criticizing those who blame ranchers for climate change while engaging in hypocritical behaviors like using private jets. DeSantis strongly opposes the policies advocated by the World Economic Forum, WEF, including central bank digital currency and Chinese Communist Party land acquisitions, expressing concerns about potential social credit systems. He also criticized the WEF's agenda of promoting alternative protein sources like lab-grown meat, describing it as fake and doubting its ability to compete fairly with traditional meat products. Overall, Governor DeSantis emphasizes the importance of proactive measures to protect Florida's industries and public well-being from perceived threats, reflecting a commitment to defending the state's agriculture industry against what he sees as intrusive or detrimental external influences. Here is the full video from Governor Ron DeSantis' speech.
Why are we talking about that here in Hardee County? Why do we have all these cattlemen here for the bill that we're going to sign today? Because one of the things that these folks want to do is they want to eliminate meat production in the United States, or actually throughout the world. They view agriculture they don't view their private jets as a problem with global warming, but they do think that folks who are cattle ranchers are doing just things that really, before we were even a state, this stuff was going on in Florida, and we would not have even become the state we were if we didn't have agriculture, particularly over the last 150 years. But this is the view. So what do they want to do? Well, they want to basically eliminate meat. They want to eliminate cattle. They want to eliminate chickens, all this stuff, and they want to create protein in laboratories. So it's essentially lab-created meat. And their goal is to get to a point where you will not be raising cattle, where you will not be developing meat like we've been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years in the state of Florida. And so it's not just a question of, oh, well, they want to put this out there on the market. If some people like it, they can do it. That's not really what they're going for, because they know if that was put out there to compete with normal beef, that they would lose. So what they want to do is put that out there and then say, well, wait a minute, you can do this in a lab. You don't need to do the cattle. You don't need to do all this. So why don't you just phase that out? That's ultimately the goal. Now, they're not at the point where they're going to be able to execute that today. But I think part of being good stewards of these industries, of the state, of the public well-being, is to think forward and head off threats before they even come. So I recognize the threats that we're seeing from some of these elites throughout the world in places like Davos. I understand that they've put a target on the back of agriculture as being somehow driving all these problems. And in the state of Florida, we've put down the marker very clearly. We stand with agriculture. We stand with the cattle ranchers. We stand with our farmers because we understand it's important for the backbone of the state. It's important for our culture. It's important for our heritage.